الرحيم نحمده ونصلي ونسلم على رسوله الكريم أما بعد. Half of the 30th juz of Quran was recited. In this part of the Quran, the early Meccan surahs, those surahs that were revealed in Mecca, we find them in this part of the Quran. They speak mostly of Tawheed, unity and oneness of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the finality of the prophethood of Muhammadur Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, resurrection, that is Qiyamah, Jannah, Jahannam, accounting, hisab, that we have to give an account with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. In most of these surahs, for example, amma yatasa'aloon, the question is being asked, what are they asking you about? Anin naba'il azim, the great event. And in one nazi'at, the next surah, speaking about the same thing. You go further down, إِذَا الشَّمْسُ كُوِّرَتْ, and the next surah, إِذَا السَّمَاءُ انْفَطَرَتْ, إِذَا السَّمَاءُ انْشَقَّتْ. All of these speak about that they depict the scenes of the Day of Judgment. In Surah Infitar, we just discuss one of those surahs, Surah Infitar, إِذَا السَّمَاءُ انْفَطَرَتْ. In this surah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that when the sky will split, it will split completely, break into pieces. Scientifically, you say it's only a color, there's no real sky there. They haven't reached that limit yet to know whether there is a sky there or not. So let us not get into the semantics of that, or whether this is just an illusion, or is it just because of the atmosphere and the color of, as you go on, it gets a little bit darker and so on, whatever the case be. There is a sky there, and the sky is going to split. Quran is saying it, we believe it. Scientifically, you can say whatever you want to say. And وَإِذَا الْكَوَاكِبُ انْتَثَرَتْ, when the stars will scatter, will disperse. We see the stars, right? We're sure of that. They will disperse. They will move from their places. Also, they will crash. And the seas will burst forth. وَإِذَا الْبِحَارُ فُجِّرَتْ, they will burst out of their containment where they are right now. So much so that all the waters of the world, whether it is fresh water or saline, that is salt water, it will all mix. And وَإِذَا الْقُبُورُ بُعْثِرَتْ, when the graves will be upturned, whoever has been buried in those graves, the earth will throw it all out. Now try and just picture this for a moment. We can't even imagine it, but we can understand it, that this is going to happen. عَلِمَتْ نَفْسٌ مَا قَدَّمَتْ وَأَخَّرَتْ. Every individual, every person will know what he sent ahead and what he left behind. What he sent ahead in the form of good deeds that will count for him, or in the form of evil deeds that will count against him. And what he left behind, meaning what he ought to have done in this world and he didn't do. Or all that his possessions he had, he left all that behind as well. Nobody takes anything and go. What he failed to do basically in the world, that is the time he will come to know what was done and passed forward, what was not done and left behind. Ya ayyuhal insan. Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala addresses insan and he says to him, Ma gharraka bi rabbikal kareem. What has deceived you? After all of this, and we are telling you all of these things, what has deceived you? We have already pronounced this, that there is going to be a day of judgment. All that you see around you as far as the universe is concerned, it will be destroyed one day. Knowing all of that, what has made you unmindful of your Creator? What has deceived you? مَا غَرَّكَ بِرَبِّكَ الْكَرِيمِ. That Rabb of yours who is gracious, most gracious. الَّذِي خَلَقَكَ. Firstly, he brought you to life. He gave you life. And then after, فَسَوَّاكَ. He perfected you. فَعَدَلَكَ. And He made you in proportion. All the limbs and everything is proportion. If you have to have one arm that is longer than the other, or one leg that is longer than the other, or one eye misplaced, if the symmetry of that is lost, you know what that will result in. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, in His kindness, in His mercy, He made you everything symmetrical. Your eyes are two in exactly the same place. Your ears are positioned exactly on the same, on the both sides. Your arms are equal. Bring them together, they're the same length. Your fingers are all the same on both hands. And the rest of the limbs, just consider it. And inside, within also, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has built the human being. لَقَدْ خَلَقْنَا الْإِنسَانَ فِي أَحْسَنِ تَقْوِيمٍ. Allah has created, and is the pinnacle of the creation of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is man. Ashraful makhluqat. Of all which Allah has created, the most noble and high position is held by insan. Why then does man forget and become heedless of his Rabb? This is a question. Allah is asking the question, what has made you, what has deceived you about your gracious Rabb? What has deceived you? So the reply to that is, and the Mufassirin have written, the commentators on the Quran, that why does man not be obedient to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala when He has given him all of these things, created him in proportion and given him all His grace in this dunya? He's taken care of all his needs. The reason is simple. Allah does not punish us immediately. If because of our doing, at every step that we went off the track and we wronged, if Allah had to hold us to account at that point immediately, we would not have been deceived. But Allah gives grace. He lets you go. If there are any fishermen here, anybody does any fishing? Nobody does fishing in England, huh? You just eat the fish. You've never gone to catch it, huh? You're not allowed? You have to pay for it as well. Oh, okay. Little small fish, insignificant, keep that. Okay. Expensive fish, you have to pay for it. Pay it? Oh. You need a license, yeah. Most places you do, but you have to have, the love for, the sport, basically, they call it. Fishing also is regarded as a sport. So let me explain fishing. Seeing that nobody knows what fishing is. So usually what happens is, you have a hook at the end of a line. On the hook you put bait, okay? And you throw the bait into the water. Then you get a bite, and you will feel it, the pull and the tug on that line. You don't reel it in immediately, you give it grace, let it go. Let it run around, get a little tired. You'll go this way, you'll go that way. When it's a little tired, then you start reeling it in. And slowly you bring him to shore. Exactly in like manner, Allah gives you grace. Go run around, do what you want. Let's see if you're going to come back and turn to me, or you're going to continue on your in your ways, until such time when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, now is enough. Now we'll reel you in. Allah does not punish immediately. If He had, we would have all been suffering. All of us will be suffering the punishment of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So, Allah does not punish immediately after man commits a sin. Rather, He continues providing rizq, sustenance, and He continues taking care of all His comforts and all His welfare, despite our disobedience. कहते हैं उस रब का खा के उसकी नाफरमानी करते हैं, लेकिन वो फिर भी गिरफ्त नहीं करता है. We eat what He has provided, we disobey Him, yet He does not take us to task immediately. He continues providing. He continues giving us whatever. Hasan Basri rahimahullah says, كم من مغرور تحت الستر وهو لا يشعر. There are so many people, humans, who are under the deception that I'm okay. I'm doing whatever I'm doing, nobody is taking me to task. He's deceived. He needs to await when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will finally, that moment will come when he'll be reeled in. So that deception, Hasan Basri says that so many, a human is under the deception whose faults are put under a cover by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It has been shielded, it has been covered. Allah Sattarul Ayoob hai. Allah is one who covers our faults. He conceals it, He does not expose us. Imagine you standing next to somebody and he knows what you just did and came. Allah's covered. एक पर्दा लगा देते हैं अल्लाह ताला. And we are deceived by imagining that nobody knows. Nobody knows is because Allah has covered your fault. And we make dua that Allah continues covering our faults. Not only here, but when we go there in the hereafter. Uski sattari yahan bhi, uski sattari wahan bhi. In both places Allah is sattar. He is here also and there we make dua that Allah keeps it covered. We are walking this earth with honor today. But if our evil deeds are exposed, we will have no honor. Nobody will want to sit next to us. कोई घास भी नहीं डालेगा. Nobody will want to associate with us. There's another very concise, short saying in the Arabic language. It says, لطفه يجري وعبده لا يدري. The lutf of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, His favors are continuous, they are pouring down on us. And His servant is oblivious. We don't even care about it. We don't even think for a moment, despite all these things and disobedience of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He's giving us, and yet we don't even imagine, we don't even give it any consideration. It is totally out of our minds and our hearts that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has veiled us. He's placed a veil over us, as a result of which we are able to keep our heads high in society. Otherwise, we are not worth anything. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant us tawfiq. Let us take this one lesson. Let us not be beguiled by this world. Let us not imagine that we are somebody and nobody knows. Nobody can point a finger at me. Remember, it is only because Allah has veiled you. And if He has to just tear that veil a little bit, just open it slightly, just part it, not remove it altogether. If it just parts, we are done for. Allah grant us all tawfiq, that we be conscious of Him at all time. He has provided us with all the bounties of this world, given us life first, fashioned us in the best of form, given us all our needs and taken care of it despite our disobedience to Him. Let us not be beguiled by this. Let us not be deceived by this in imagining that we are in good stead with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Rather, we should be very repentant and seek His mercy and seek His protection and the veil over us that He has put. Allah grant us all the tawfiq. Wa akhiru da'wana alhamdulillahi rabbil alameen. Wa sallallahu ta'ala ala sayyidina محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين. اللهم ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار. اللهم استرنا بسترك الجميل. اللهم استرنا بسترك الجميل. اللهم استرنا بسترك الجميل. اللهم إنا نسألك من خير ما سألك منه نبيك وعبدك محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم، ونعوذ بك من شر ما استعاذك منه نبيك وعبدك محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم، وأنت المستعان وعليك البلاغ ولا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله. اللهم اغفر لنا ما قدمنا وما أخرنا وما أسررنا وما أعلنا وما أنت عالم به منا. أنت المقدم وأنت المؤخر، لا إله إلا أنت. اللهم إنا نسألك الجنة وما قرب إليها من قول أو عمل، ونعوذ بك من النار. اللهم أجرنا من النار. اللهم أجرنا من النار. اللهم أجرنا من النار. اللهم ربنا اغفر لنا ولإخواننا الذين سبقونا بالإيمان ولا تجعل في قلوبنا غلا للذين آمنوا ربنا إنك رؤوف رحيم. اللهم ربنا تقبل منا إنك أنت السميع العليم، وتب علينا يا مولانا إنك أنت التواب الرحيم. وصلى الله تعالى على النبي الأمي وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. آمين برحمتك يا رب.